please, ladies and gentlemen, don't let me put you off. Because it will be the most beautiful night of your life. That's the tradition that always works. There's so many things that always work. The bride will look beautiful. It's a rule of weddings. The bride looks beautiful, and she always does. There's never been a bride that didn't. Brides look beautiful. But don't say so. Whatever you do, don't say so. Not if you're the groom. Don't say so. Because you see, compliments divide the sexes. Oh yes, compliments mean different things to different genders, because you see, the universe is broad and it is wide, and on one side live the men, and far, 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 far away, beyond another dimension in a different space and time, live the women. And there the twain shall meet, and across the space-time continuum there are various dividing lines, and one of them is compliments. Because you see, on the whole, it's a generalisation, but probably true to say, most men, they'll take a compliment. They like it. They'll have some more. They'll drag it screaming from unwilling witnesses. Any bit of sartorial approbation coming their way, they'll have a bit of that. He's come home from the January sales. He's wearing 40 quid's worth of top man tastiness. He loves himself. What do you think, my darling? Saucy, tasty, tasty, saucy, saucy, tasty, tasty, saucy. What do you think, my darling? It's all right. All right! Le Dergs Bullocks, I think it is. Canine love blurbs, I think. Because he loves it, you know. Most men, they become relatively relaxed about themselves physically as the years go by. Look at that, that's coming on, that, isn't it? I'm really quite proud of that. I put a lot of work into that. Slap, slap, slap. Look, I can make it go. She loves it, you know. She really does. Warm and cuddly. She don't say, but I know she does. She loves it. Women, on the whole, you see, are less happy with a compliment. In fact, they don't like them at all. They don't want to know. Rather do without. You look beautiful tonight, darling. Oh, fuck off! I said you look beautiful. Look, you're just going to go on like that. I'm going to watch the bloody telly, all right? Because you see, women would almost rather, to me, on average, seem to rather have an insult. You don't need to be there. You're out shopping, Miss Selfridge. Top girl, you're sat outside the changing room. She's inside putting on a frock. The curtain twitches out, she comes, you've not got a chance, she's off. It doesn't work, does it? I knew it wouldn't work. I don't know why I put it on. I can't wear this sort of thing. No, it don't, because I know it doesn't. I can't wear this sort of. Some girls can, but I can't. I knew it wouldn't work. I wish it would, but it doesn't, so I can't. She's back inside, you're sat there. You might as well not be there, so you go home. She comes home 3 hours later. Well, I bought this. I don't know why. I won't wear it. Now, there may be those amongst you thinking, hang on a minute, Ben, this is getting a little bit sexual stereotype. And what's going on here, eh? A bit of Bernard Manning coming through. Well, what? What's going to be next? My fucking wife. There are differences. You know, I think it's been established demographically that women like to cuddle beyond the first year of the relationship. Now, men like to cuddle too, but only as a pre-shag preamble. Now, this leads to endless frustration and confusion. Sat on the sofa. Come on in, give us a cuddle. Pre-shag then? I thought you wanted to watch TV. I'll put the kettle on. I just want a cuddle. Oh. Why? I think what I'm trying to say, and look, I know we've got a long way from the point, but we'll get back to the point in the second half, but just before we break, I just want to establish, the point is, I think I'm trying to say that in a relationship, you've got to look after the little things. That's what will niggle away at your love. People start thinking about living together, they're always thinking about the big stuff. Oh, sexual compatibility, well, we'll be all right, you know, I better sleep with him or her, check it out. But that's not the problem. But if you want to live with someone, sure, sleep with them, but don't check out the sex, that'll be fine. Check out the bathroom, right?
check out the state of your prospective living lover's toothpaste tube. Because let's face it, the shagging's going to wind down over the years, but you're always going to have to brush your teeth, aren't you? So check out the toothpaste tube. Is it squeezed in the middle? Is the top nowhere to be seen? Is the nozzle encrusted with dry, white grubby bits, with pubes stuck to it? Could you live with that? If you can, fair enough, go for it. But that's what you're going to live with. They won't change. You have been warned. Alternatively, perhaps you're thinking of shacking up with the finicky type. You go in, their toothpaste tube is pristine. The top has been securely wound down. The tube has been wound up from the bottom, using the key off a sardine tin. Could you live with that? If you can, then fair enough. But if you commit to someone like that, you've got to accept that for the rest of your life, you're going to get a bollocking every time you put a buttery knife in the Marmite. Sort out the little things. Ladies, are you thinking of committing your lives to the sort of swine, the sort of bloke, and this will almost always be a bloke, who is the sort of bastard who would use up the last of the toilet roll and fail to replace it? Or worse, leave one single sheet hanging over it. Plenty left, just enough for your fingers to go straight through. If you encounter a man like that, girls, then run home to mum. It doesn't matter how good a shag he was, he will never change, and you will be destined to spend the rest of your lives doing the wet flap wobble. Knickers round your ankles, you're going bastard, 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 bastard. He's always doing it, bastard. You're looking for some Kleenex. You can't find it, you've got a drip dry at the top of the stairs. The sort of bloke who would empty a bog roll and fail to replace it is normally the sort of swine, the sort of animal who can get through an entire bog roll in a single shit. This man has got an arse on him like an industrial muck spreader. He can crap twice his body weight 3 times a day. His bowels are like Doctor Who's TARDIS. There is more room on the inside. He leaves that toilet stinking like Satan's sphincter on curry night in hell.
I wouldn't go in there for a while if I were you, love.
How does he do it? She thinks, how does he do it? We eat the same things. It comes out of her little scented delicate rabbit pellets. He pebble dashes the top floor of the house. What's he doing? Sneaking off secret and eating cow shit? I think maybe it's probably best to leave you with that one. All right, you've got 15 minutes, have a drink, see if you can get in a queue for the box girls. I'll see you back here then for more stand-up comedy. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, change your t-shirt, thank you. Production values, you know, well, we are recording it. I thought I'd run to a second t-shirt, for God's sake. Very nice, you see, to be making a video in this absolutely gorgeous theatre. This is how they should make theatres, and good staff too. I've got to pay this respect publicly. Very good people. Excellent light on the spot works, thank you very much. Excellent work on the spotlights was what I was trying to say. And of course, 18 pints of Stradix old bowel basher in the interval, that's the help. Excellent work on the spotlights, which isn't always the case. You might think that's de rigueur, but it is not. Quite often, the spot operators, a couple of students on a freebie, very nice. Physics students with no real sense of time, you know. They've had a little drag on a doobie, it's like the Blitz some nights, you know. They're expecting to see a hind call diving through the beams. One night I was so angry in the interval, I said to one bloke, I said, listen you silly git, you're constantly behind me. He said, no man, time is a circle, you're ahead of me. It's outrageous. You know, the funny thing is that often theatre staff aren't as nice as they are. I always have a problem backstage, or often, with disappointing the backstage staff, the doorman and all that. It's always because I'm not so chirpy backstage. They say, oh dear, Mr. Elton, you're a little bit dull, aren't you? Dear, oh dear. When Mr. Tarbuck used to come through, he always have a regular laugh with the lads backstage. You know, it's a terrible thing, that occupational hazard of comedians. You're supposed to be being funny all the time. I mean, I'm not claiming special treatment. All jobs have occupational hazards, you know, like any doctors in a house will know that. They can't go to a party without being surrounded by people going, I've got this click in my elbow. But, you know, being a comic, it just has to be a drag that people expect you to amuse them. Minicab drivers. I seem to have been put on earth to piss off and disappoint minicab drivers. Every time I get in a minicab, I'm 5 seconds, this, blimey, man, you're a bit boring, aren't you? Blimey, I thought having motor mouth in a cab would be an interesting and amusing experience. You're a bit dull, aren't you? You can't be the way you are at work when you're not at work. You're not going to act with your friends the way you do when you're at work. I mean, if minicab drivers did that, they wouldn't have any friends, would they? If they bored the bollocks off everyone down the pub the way they do their passengers, except being minicab drivers, they wouldn't be in the pub because they wouldn't know where it was. Don't worry, Eddie, we'll just drive around a bit longer, I'll keep the meter running. You can't take your work home with you. You'd go mad. I mean, imagine a cab driver at home. If he took his work home, I sat on the sofa, stretch covers, fag burns, kebab down the back of the cushion. No good, would it? Nobody takes their work. I feel sorry for all these Tory cabinet ministers who are in danger of losing their jobs or are having to resign pell-mell in a welter of sleaze as we speak. Because, you know, what are they going to do in the real world? I mean, will they carry on talking in that smug, shit, slime, superior, lying bastard way they adopt in their current jobs? I mean, you wouldn't want to be... You wouldn't want to be stuck behind an ex-Tory cabinet minister while he tried to order a drink and a boozer, would you? You'd be there all night, a bastard. He'd be off. Of course I want a gin and tonic. I've always wanted a gin and tonic. I've made it quite clear from the start that I want a gin and tonic, and I have never deviated from my policy of wanting a gin and tonic. No. You've asked me the question, and you'll do me the courtesy of listening to the fullness of my answer. No doubt the Labour Party will want a gin and tonic at some point. Of course I want ice and lemon. I've always wanted ice and lemon. I've never deviated from my policy of wanting ice, and no doubt the Labour Party will want ice and lemon. Of course I want a bag of crisps. I've always wanted a bag of crisps. I've never did. No doubt the Labour Party will want a bag of... Sorry, don't go waiting for a punchline or anything, because there isn't one. It's just a little bit of hate that I have to get out of myself. Because these people are beyond satire. They're self-satirising. There's nothing you can say to take the piss. They're beneath contempt. I mean, the funny thing is, they keep saying John Major's their secret weapon. He's the best of them. And they're right. What does that say? Poor bastards, honestly. And yet we sort of continue to respect them because of the job they hold. And I think this is the point. I'm making style over content. You know, like, if it's a profession, we respect it. Now, I can see that with some jobs, you know, doctor, nurse, teacher, professions worthy of respect. But some of the weirdest things, we respect them just because of the job they do. People who work in off-licences. Funny that, how we give so much of our personality. We respect people who work in off-licenses like they were some kind of guru, some kind of oracle. I'll explain. I'm in Victoria Wine, right? Now here I am, relatively well adjusted. I feel fairly relaxed about myself. I'm in my 30s, I've been educated, I've got a degree. And yet, I go to Victoria Wine, I am an empty vessel. I have no personality, no opinions. I'm stood there with a bottle in my hand, saying to the person behind the till, will I like this? What does he know? I've never met the bastard before in my life. He's no idea about my taste, but he's very confident. He says, oh yes, you'll like that. Good lemony aftertaste, good with fish. But he's a student on a holiday job, for Christ's sake. He drinks cider and black at the weekend. And I'm listening to him. Oh, I'll have that then. He says, well, perhaps you'd like a dessert wine. That one's good with pudding. Oh, this one's good with game. Bold, fruity, mellow. Big wine, good with game. Game? Game? He makes 40 quid a week. His idea of game is Kentucky Fried Chicken. And yet I'm listening to the swine. What's going on? The problem is, I'm not prepared to admit my ignorance, and this is what I'm talking about. We actually connive in our style destruction because we will not be honest about how uncool we are. Instead, we surf the bullshit tidal wave, trying to look that little bit more sophisticated, that little bit cooler than we actually are. Wine is a classic example. You're in a restaurant, you're sat there with your partner, your husband, your missus, whatever. The waiter comes over. Would you like to taste the wine, sir? You say, yes. Yes, thank you very much. That would be lovely. I'll taste the wine. Thank you. I'll taste the wine. Now, he knows, you know, Your partner knows. Everybody in the restaurant knows. That you're going to take a little sip. You're going to pause for a moment's careful thought. And then you're going to say, yes, that's very nice. You can pour. There is no chance in this world or the next of you saying, a little bit peppery on the back of the palate, fuck off.
The problem is we're always trying to look cooler than we are. Let's stop. Let's celebrate what we are. For heaven's sake, we'll never be cool. The goalposts move every week. We're always behind. We can't catch up every week. You buy your pretentious bollocks section of your Sunday shite, and they've moved the goalposts. Ha! You thought that was cool, but we've moved on, so fuck off. You're out of fashion again. What was it last year? Out of the blue, heroin became fashionable. That was amazing. So after Train Spotting, the junkie lifestyle became a kind of designer thing. All the supermodels, you had junkie chic. They talked about it in the media. The junkie chic supermodels painting dark circles under their eyes, living in rags, you know. The Train Spotting, I mean, it was ever so seductive, that film. It's a good film, but think about it, because what actually was being described was the most desperate and degraded lives. Renton, the lead character in Train Spotting, he gets his drugs. He's that desperate to get them into his raddled, desperate system. He shoves them up his arse. He does. It's a nice night out. He's shoving his drugs up his arse. It's a new one on me. I didn't know that was a method of entry. I thought, well, I wonder if that would work on a pint of lager. Well, it'd be a neat trick if you could learn it, wouldn't it? No, think about it. It's 1 minute to closing time. You've got 2 pints lined up on the bar. You don't want to waste it. The landlord's trying to rush you. All right, here we go. One in the front, one up the arse. Here we go. How was it that those desperate people were rendered looking so kind of attractive, cool, sophisticated, style? In this case, it was the accent. That was the predominant thing. That whole Edinburgh thing, you know. That whole cool sort of Scottish thing. It sounded so sort of dead hard, didn't it? Dead dry, dead sophisticated, you know. Hello, my name's Renton. I do smoke. I use skag. I'm a foolish cunt. But I'm cool. You know, it was weird, wasn't it? It just sounded cool with that accent. I mean, imagine it, they'd said it in southern England with a git like me. Hello, my name's Renton. Me and my friend Sick Boy were shoving our drugs up our arseholes when I pooed right out and had to search my diarrhea for it. It really was a marvellous evening. You should have been there. It wouldn't work, would it? You gotta have the right pools, because that whole Scottish thing, you know, they're dead hard. The cynical people are strong. Strong people in Scotland, hard, tough people. Strong, hard, tough. Well, if you live in a country where the thistles are waist high and they've only recently invented trousers, you're gonna Maybe the Train Spotting treatment could make me look good, you know. Bit of Irving Walsh. Hello, my name's Ben. I do lager. I use harp. The problem is some things are beyond sophistication, and drinking beer is one of them. But the weirdest thing is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Beer drinking is being redesigned. It's becoming a sophisticated occupation. All the beers are becoming designer beers. Since your new lad became a fashion icon, since acting like a pissed up aggressive wanker became a style statement, beer, his tipple of choice, has become stylish too. So out of the blue go the old beers, and we got new ones now. Instead of Carlsberg, we got Carlsberg Ice. Cold filtered Heineken. Dry filtered Fosters. We're all going, oh, that Carlsberg Ice, that's a bit of all. It's the same piss poor bollocks we've been drinking all the time. They just put a silly new name on it. We fall for it every time. It's part of the bullshit tidal wave. They could have made up any name. Never mind cold filtered. What about jet filtered? Turbo brewed in turbos filtered through jets. I mean, it's just wank. Marketing.
They've decided they want to relocate beer in this class structure. So out of the blue, Guinness. They came up with a lager last year. Guinness, what did they call it? Enigma. Because we're all sophisticated. Now, 15 years ago, if Guinness had made up a lager, they would have called it Shotgun. Or Gunpowder or something. But now it's Enigma. Oh, yeah, well, of course, because your average night in the pub sums it up, doesn't it?
A pint of Enigma, please, mate. 2 halves of Conundrum for the ladies. Small Paradox, no ice. We are victims of this, for heaven's sake. I mean, honestly, you cannot make booze cool. I remember the days when beer was advertised honestly, you know? Hofmeister, it was the lads, wasn't it? You knew where you were. I mean, the bear was a bit confusing, but, you know... Basically, you knew where you were. These days, all the ads for beer are surreal. You know, like you've got Jack D wandering through that surreal landscape with penguins buzzing round his head while he makes dry little comments. And then there's all the Irishmen with the faces of gentle poets. That's who drinks the beer in Ireland. They're all upside down in a fish tank saying, I'm not bitter. What is it about? They're just trying to render our sad little love, which is beer, sophisticated. What's coming next? What other little pleasure are they going to try and make feel cool? A pot noodle? How about that? They could make that sophisticated next, couldn't they? They could get the Irishman with the face of the poet. He could do the pot noodle ads, couldn't he? Ah, here's how my daddy told me to make the pot noodle. Now, first you have to pour the hot water into the pot. And then you must wait now while the scum of MSG and reconstituted vegetables rise into the surface. Now you can't rush a pot noodle, sure you have to wait while the little bits of gristle swell up in the hot water. But when it's finished, it is like sucking out the inside of a Hoover bag. I know what's happening. It's comedians' fault. What's happened is comedians have been taking a piss out of adverts for so long. The advertisers they got cheesed off. They've decided to make unskittable adverts. Adverts out of which the piss has already been taken. I can think of no other logical explanation to explain the phenomenon of the Ferrero Rocher ad. They're all drugs, let's face it. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it was de rigueur in diplomatic circles to have a couple of Ferrero Rochers at the party with the tiaras on. Maybe James Bond always had 2 or 3 in the top pocket of his dinner jacket. Don't dance too close, you're crushing my chocolate. I mean, but it's another example of trying to render our little pleasures sophisticated. Everyone likes a chocolate, but now they're saying, oh, it's sophisticated. Posh people do it too, oh yes. Oh yes, the ambassador has Ferrero Rocher. Sophisticated? Bollocks. So they're just going to get a foreign name to make them sophisticated? You can buy them in every newsagent in the country. There's trays of them underneath the wank mags. They cost less than a Cadbury's cream egg. I mean, if the ambassador had really wanted to spoil his guests, he would have nodded in a tray full of cream eggs, wouldn't he? Oh, monsieur, with the king-size Mars bars and the curly whirlies, you are really spoiling. Although, in all fairness, I do have a sneaking kind of admiration for the Ferrero Rocher ethic. Because you know what I mean? Like, you know, at a party, like, if someone nodded in the Ferrero Rochers, you'd be quite pleased, really, wouldn't you? Because most party food is crap, you know? Bits of greasy pizza and Marks and Spencer's crudité. Marks and Spencer's have ruined party food. All these fucking crudité, it's raw vegetables with a mayonnaise dip. I don't want it. Bring back a cocktail sausage and a lump of cheese and a pineapple chunk. That's what we are. But no, it's all Marks and Sparks now. You get your party food from Marks and... Oh, isn't it marvellous? Where's Marks and Sparks? It's silly to make your own. People go to parties, they're wearing Marks and Sparks clothes, they're eating Marks and Sparks. You might as well have the fucking party at Marks and Sparks. Just all you and your mates go down there, bollock naked, pop on a frock and a pair of knickers and start stealing chicken off the shelf. It'd be every party in Britain, wouldn't it? Marks and Spencer's. They're re-educating us. We're all going to eat the crap they keep thinking up. Crudité. It's raw vegetables. But don't talk to me about the mayonnaise dip. Some bastard had all of that on a bit of French bread hours ago. I'm left munching on raw cauliflower florets. This is a party, right? Normally I wouldn't feed it to a donkey, but no. Marks and Spencer's are teaching us all these words we never heard of. Crudité. Canapé. Oh, Marks and Spencer's canapés. Oh, aren't they marvellous? Well, they look so good. Well, you're silly to make your own, aren't you? Oh, how marvellous. We're having canapés on the lawn. Canapés, probably like dry filtered. They probably made the name up. I mean, 5 years ago, we'd never heard of it, had we? You would have thought a canapé was a can of peas with only one pea left in it. Suddenly we're all getting canapé. Oh, I'd love a canapé. It's style over content. They look all right. Taste bleeding horrible. You ever read the box? A delicate pastry shell filled with the phlegm of a Tuscan mountain goat. Topped with a sun-dried hamster's bollock. Marks and Spencers have got out of hand, that's all I'm saying. They have got out of hand. I mean, you know, they're doing too much for us now. They're rendering us without a role in our lives, you know. Everything's cooked, prepared, there's a little fork. Look, mate, I can put my own fucking jam in this scone, you know. Leave me something to do. I want to be included. I need to be there, you know. I mean, I'm not saying it's not nice, don't get me wrong. Marks and Spencer's food hall, it's like pornography. It's like an orgasm. You go down there, you just want to eat everything. It's all so lovely, beautiful. It's all been packaged so nice and lovely. You want to eat it all. It's all shiny and lovely. You want it all. You want to eat the tills, the staff, the floor. You want to eat it. Everything's been done for you. Oh, they save you so much time. Aren't they clever? Oh, look, an entire meal of chicken tikka masala with fluffy rice and crispy poppadoms. Aren't they clever? They save you so much time. Oh, look, a chili dip with a full range of different savoury garlic breadsticks. Aren't they clever? They save you so much time. Aren't they clever? Oh, look, grated cheese. Aren't they clever? Marks and Spencer's grated cheese. How clever of them to grate the cheese. They save you so much time. Oh, mashed potatoes. They've mashed the potatoes. How clever of them. They save you so much time. They put a knob of butter in it. Save you so much time. Put the pepper in it. Saves you time. Oh, look, peeled mandarins. They peeled your mandarins for you. Saves you so much time. They peeled the mandarin. How much time can you save, for Christ's sake? You're staying there long enough, you start getting younger. I'm stood in the house, my bollocks are retreating. I walk out, I see myself coming in 10 years ago. Who's that getting a sparkly suit? I mean, it is extraordinary. You get in there, Marks and Spencers have done everything for you. Everything, nothing that you could do that they haven't done. What are they thinking of every day? They must think, what can we do next? We've done the scones, we've done a little cream cake. Toast and marmalade, that's what we'll do. The Marks and Spencer's toast and marmalade range. 2 slices of prime bread, gently flame grilled, buttered and topped with a generous serve of Seville marmalade. We'll all be going, oh, that's good, that'll save us time, won't it? Toast and marmalade, aren't they clever? £5, I'll have some of that, lovely. They must every day, Marks and Spencer's design team, trying to work out something they haven't done for us. Here's one! The Marks and Spencer's pre-dunked digestive. For those of you too busy to suck out the middle of your own walnut whips, Marks and Spencer's offer a sachet of finest fondant cream mixed with spit. There's nothing more they can do for us. It must be so frustrating. They've done it all. They've packaged it. They've seasoned it. They've given us a little fork bit. They're just going to have to eat it for us. That's the only thing. The Marks and Spencer's pre-digested range. A turd in a plastic tray. Put in microwave, heat to body temperature, flush down toilet. It'd save time, wouldn't it? Here's a thought. They could do a curry range, couldn't they? With a little tube of deep heat to smear on your arsehole. Is that we're living in a society where style means more than content. Marketing means more than the actual product. The American marketing ethic, right? Because, you know, marketing means something in America. To them, it's a way of life, but we've never really had a history of it. Traditionally in Britain, right, when we have something that we all like, we keep it the same. If there's a product that everyone likes, they keep it exactly the same. They never change it at all. Marmite, Heinz ketchup, Noel's house party. It doesn't change at all. From week to week, exactly the same. Actually, I feel terrible doing that, you know what I mean? Because any time, you know, little slip in the career and it could be me, knock, knock, hello, Noel, yes, I need the money, you know what I mean? You've got to watch it, take the piss out of that. Noel's Outpost, a showbiz unemployment agency, isn't it? And all power to him. It's good that he keeps the work up. Anyway, what I'm saying is we traditionally do not have a marketing policy, but in America they love it. It's part of their culture. It is a modern art to them. In America, if you've got a product that everyone likes, then they remarket it. Strange, like McDonald's, the most successful restaurant in history. In America, they couldn't sell anymore if they tried. But nonetheless, they've remarketed it. And in America now, they have Express McDonald's. McDonald's is express. That's the point. It's supposed to be express. McDonald's means fast. So Express McDonald's is a tautology. Express fast, very fast, fast food. Express fast, faster than last week. That was fast, this is bleeding fast. How fast do you want it? You go in there, Big Mac, please. For fuck's sake! Jesus, the thing's embedded in the back wall. There's chips whistling past your ears. Now look, I must at this point out that I do accept that we could do with Express McDonald's over here. Because we've never really got it, have we? You know what I'm saying? The poor old Americans have tried to make us like them, do things their way, but you see, you can put the hat on the British teenager, but you've still got a British teenager under the hat. And that's the problem, you see. The poor old Americans, they came over here 20 years ago, they tried to make us do it their way, they closed all the Wimpys, the golden eggs, they opened the McDonald's, they got all the staff in. Okay, now you know how you have to do it now. You have to smile the whole time, you have to wear the uniform, you have to be clean, the food must be ready at all times. What do you say to the customer? Have a nice day. Right, you say, have a nice day, well done, okay, does everybody understand the McDonald's ethic? Well, yeah, we get it. The Americans went home, everybody lit up a fag. It's been that way ever since, because like in America, service means something. The kids in McDonald's, they're happy. Marketing, service is part of their culture. They might own the place one day. You go in there, it's enthusiasm. Veggie burger, please. Certainly, sir. Here is your meal. Have a nice day. May I suck your dick? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting, I'm not blaming the Americans. They just happen to have the most powerful economy and culture at which, the point at which the world's affairs became truly global. I mean, we don't have it. This concept of national ideas and finance and currency, it's all bollocks. I mean, the world is run by international global companies, multinationals. They sell the same products all over the world, and hence the marketing strategy must be the same worldwide to facilitate easy profits. And of course, they go with the American model. So everywhere you go in the world, you see adverts which could be made in America. It's absurd. I mean, I've never seen a bursting fire hydrant on a New York street. I've never seen a gorgeous New York babe rollerblading through Central Park. But apparently, these things sum up the spirit of the British tampon. Body-form press-on towels. I love that phrase. It always reminds me of something Joyce Grenfell would have said in a kind of 1950s radio sketch. Come on, you towels, press on. Press on towels. Because to me, it's an intriguing phrase, press on towels, because I was genuinely confused about it. I mean, I'll tell you this. I don't always tell people this, but we're bonding, aren't we? I think there's a sort of warmth developing here. So the point is, I used to think that press-on towels, right? I mean, I didn't think about them all the time, obviously. They weren't constantly on my mind. Look, let's put it this way. If I had thought about press-on towels, this isn't easy for me, I'm trying to work this through, okay? If I thought you were supposed to press them on your fanny. I did. Most of the blokes in the room going, yeah. What are you laughing at, love? I did. I thought it was some kind of suction arrangement. I thought it was one of them things you put on your fridge door, You schlock it on, you get a decent all-round seal, girls, and you're ready to live your life as you choose. Go hang gliding and rollerblading. A friend of mine, she said, no, you silly bugger, for Christ's sake, suction? You fool, they're adhesive, they're sticky.
me eyes water to think about it. She said, no, you silly Burke, you don't stick 'em on your fanny, you fool, you stick 'em to your knickers, you put 'em in the gusset, that's where you stick it. Stop it moving around. I said, oh. Mind you, she did concede, she did accept that if you're a bit pissed, girls, when you put it in, and you get it a little bit skew-whiff, you might catch a couple of long ones, and all day it's...
Sorry, I've gone too far now, I know that. I just feel the sympathy suddenly disappear. Let's move on.
Anyway, what were we talking about? This is the point, marketing. Our lives are ruined. I can't even watch the ITN news anymore because I might watch the weather. And if I watch the weather, I'll have to sit through that fatuous little bit where they say power gen, bringing you electricity, whatever the weather. Well, thanks a fucking lot. We do pay for it, you know, you fatuous bastard. You're not giving it this for nothing. We're supposed to be pleased that even though it's raining, we can still turn the lights on. We haven't worked that out 85 fucking years ago, you know. I mean, the grocer doesn't say, greengrocer, giving you your half pound of bananas, even though there's a nip in the air, does he? That's all we got from privatisation. More marketing, not more quality. Don't talk about quality, whatever. Is it better? No. Water? Did the stuff used to back away up the pipe before privatisation? I don't think it's gas. Did donkey farts used to emanate from the jets when you turned it on? No. All we got was more marketing. Buses, they sold the buses off. Have we got more buses? No, we got less buses, but more names for buses. Because I'm going around the country at the moment and I'm collecting a name in every town, sometimes 2 or 3. Because you don't get on a bus anymore. You get on a city hopper. Someone was paid to come up with that. A stop and shopper. A town around. A busy bee. A scuttle shuttle. A wank tank. I made the last one up. If it's best, I might send it in. They sold the trains. Have we got more trains? No, we got less trains, less services, but more names for trains. Because you don't get on the Intercity anymore, do you? You get on the West Coast Pullman, the Midland Flyer, the East Coast Express. Thank you all for using the East Coast Express. We never forget you have a choice. Yeah, you can pay twice as much for half the service, or you can fuck off. And that's all that's left. Marketing. We live in a free and classless society. John Major's first bit of marketing was classless society. Now, we used to have third class on trains, didn't we? We don't have that anymore. That wouldn't work in John Major's meritocracy. The new Labour voting Sun would not like to see British boys travelling third class. That's for foreign muck, innit? Our boys would not travel third class. But actually, our boys and our girls do travel third class all the time. And fourth class and fifth class. Cunningly disguised by marketing as super savers. A super-duper savey-savers. Passengers in possession of a super-duper savey-saver may use the front portion of any train on the second Tuesday in Lent in a leap year.
Now, I can sell you a super-duper savey-saver. You can't actually get on a train, but you are entitled to run along the side of the train. And all that's left is more lies, because as the public transport dies, we're all forced to the one thing we all dreamt of, the freedom of the private motor car. I quote Mrs. Thatch, she wants the great car economy. In the Middle Ages, she said, every Briton has a right to the freedom of the private motor car. And we'd love it, wouldn't we? Because we got the bleeding cars, the freedom's a bit of a long time coming, because everywhere we are in chains. We live in one long traffic jam, and yet every single car ad bullshits an image of driving glory. Where are they making these ads? Venus, for Christ's sake. Car adverts. They make the Ferrero Rocher ad look like socialist realism. You watch the car ads, the Peugeot, the Renault, the Ford, whatever. Doesn't matter what the car. They're always driven by smug, happy people. He's a good look. He's like James Bond. He's so smug driving along. I'm not surprised he's smug, because there is only ever one car in car ad world. There is no one else on the road. This man has his own road. There's no cars in front. There's no cars behind. There's none from side to side. I say, don't tell me it's a Ford. I don't give a fuck. I want to know where the road is. Tell me where that road is. I'll drive on it in anything. A wheelbarrow, a space hopper. Just let me go along.
empty road once before I die. You saw the Peugeot ad with all the individual thoughts. You know, he's driving along and he's thinking, because there are no average drivers. We are all individuals. He's driving along being such an individual. Peugeot assure us we all think a million original thoughts every day because there are no average drivers. What's Peugeot man thinking about? He's thinking about saving a little girl from an oncoming juggernaut. He's thinking about standing up to fascist tanks in Eastern Europe because there are no average drivers. Bollocks. We're all average drivers. And when we get in a car, we're all thinking the same thing. We're not thinking about saving little girls or standing up to fascist tanks. We're thinking we want to kill the bastard in front and we want to kill the bastard behind. Everyone in the country sat in our cars at the same time thinking exactly the same thing. 30 million of us thinking, I have just crawled past 10 miles of bollards and cones and contraflow and I have yet to encounter the man digging as promised in the little tin triangle. Just once could one car ad have an experience that related to our experience with cars? Could Nicole run out as a French chateau? She'd say, ba 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 ba, runs over to the sexy little Clio. Oh bollocks, some wanker nicked my radio again. Just once. Because we know that cars do not make us happy. They do not make us calm. We love them. We've all got them. But we know they're destroying the world and they're destroying us. Because we get in our cars and we ain't human anymore. Because we allow ourselves to act in a manner that we would never, ever act under any other circumstances. Imagine it, if you were walking up the high street, you were walking along the pavement, and there was someone in front of you walking a little bit slower than you. Would you feel justified in screaming, "You dozy fucking wanking arsehole! Can you fucking believe this brat, this dickhead, this wanker, this tosspot? Die, you bastard! Fuck off and die! Learn to walk, why don't you?" Would you feel you could do that? If there was a little old lady walking in front, slowly with a walking stick, would you feel justified in getting a quarter of an inch behind her and walking saying, "You've got to fucking move, bitch. You think you can walk slower than me? Well, I'm going to intimidate you. I'm going to force you. I'll force you along this fucking road, bitch. And if you don't like it, get off the fucking pavement." If you were walking past Boots and a young mum came out laden with shopping and 3 kids to look after, would you be going, I'm here, did you fucking see me? I'm here! Lads, you carry a torch round in your back pocket so you can whip it out when you don't like people and flash it in their eyes. We gotta get hold of ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. The world's changing and we don't notice. We're all glued to the screen watching the bullshit tidal wave sweep over us. Let's stand like Canute on the shores of the culture, say thus far and no further. No more of your style bullshit. I refuse to try and be cool. You can see there'd be no point with me anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure to play this beautiful hall. You really have been a marvellous audience. I'd like to say you've been fantastic. It's been a pleasure to play here and I look forward to returning. My name's Ben Elton. Good night.